So I gotta say today is a good day because we officially got the College Football 25 Road to Glory deep dive. And I know a lot of people probably expected a trailer, but I think they've given us enough trailers at this point. We know the vibe of what this game is gonna be. But I wanna talk about the 10 takeaways that I learned from this deep dive in Road to Glory that I think matters a lot. And of course, I'm gonna leave the blog here. That way you guys can check this out in itself when it talks about building Road to Glory, the creation. You got the 4 paths that you wanna take, whether that's elite, blue chip, contributor, or underdog, and your positions and things of that nature. But we want to get into the nitty gritty of this information, and I'm just going to point out a few things. So look, if I don't touch on the things that you're trying to look at, just know it wasn't in the top 10 of things that I wanted to talk about specifically. So outside of that, the first thing I want to talk about is the wear and tear that you have in Road to Glory versus Dynasty. And it says here, as you take damage on the field and throughout training, it is essential to allocate time to recover and get your body back to full health. Unlike Dynasty players, you will not automatically recover a set amount of wear and tear. And I think that was going to be the advantage Dynasty has, is that Scott OG talked about on a week-to-week basis, when you simulate to the next week, a lot of your players are going to automatically get a little bit back on their wear and tear. But as we notice here in Road to Glory, that's going to come into play with the energy points that you choose, or rather that's health and things of that nature once we get deeper into this. But you're going to use energy points to actually rebuild back your wear and tear from game to game. And it says here, if you do not spend your time recovering, your wear and tear damage will persist, affecting your performance and availability. And the kicker here is that if your health gets too low, it will impact how much you play on game day and could potentially prevent you from playing at all. So that's a huge thing to take note of, that your coach can actually pull you from the game because you don't have good health out there on the field, and you really don't have an option at all. Another key point I want to talk about is NIL Deals earning mental abilities. And I think that's something that's huge because it shows that you really don't have to focus on just training and getting your abilities. You can also go other ways and still earn those same things. So under NIL, it says as your brand level grows, you will unlock name, image, and likeness deal slots. These slots allow you to be offered off-field NIL opportunities, which can enhance your overall brand and provide additional benefits, and more on NIL deals later. But once you reach the influencer tier, you will activate the road dog ability, which is one of the abilities that Donovan Edwards has. He's not really affected when he's playing on the road in hostile environments, so that's going to be something that you're going to want to push for as a mental ability. And it says this special ability increases your composure gains when you're playing on the road, helping you perform better in away games. So look, you can obviously work for fan favorite, which will help you in home games, but also road dog will help you on the road. Now the number 3 key point is more of an RPG element, and I like that they have this in the game. And it says scenarios and dilemmas. As you progress along in your journey as a student athlete, you will encounter unexpected scenarios and dilemmas that add complexity and excitement to your journey. These scenarios and dilemmas will trigger based on the decisions you make and how you spend your time off the field. They can involve interactions with teammates, advisors, other students on campus, NIL deals, and other fun surprises that keep your journey dynamic and engaging. And when faced with a new dilemma, there is no right or wrong answer. How you choose to respond will ultimately shape your journey. And I think that's something that's really cool because it's truly an RPG element. You can choose to go hang out with the boys and go to a party. And you can also choose to just sit back and study, but either way, it's going to have some impact on your journey overall. It doesn't mean it's going to negatively affect it. It's just going to mean, well, not hanging out with the boys will probably hurt your leadership, but studying will also increase your grades. So it's really a catch-22 because it really shows you can tailor your experience how you want it to go the entire way. Now, if you did get to the point in the blog where it talked about energy points and things of that nature, this is adding on to that NIL deal conversation that we had earlier about key point 2. And it pretty much goes to this. NIL deals come with a duration for which they will run and energy cost associated with them, as they require some of your time. The energy cost can be either upfront costs or a weekly cost over the course of the contract. Managing your energy and time effectively is crucial to balancing your commitments. Now, if you read through the blog, they talked about certain things when it comes to energy. You're going to have 5 energy points on a normal week-to-week basis. So let's say you have a game on a typical Saturday. You're only going to get 5 energy points leading up to that Saturday. If you have a bye week though, you're going to have 6. And if you play, say, a Thursday or Friday game, you're only going to have 4. So with that, it really shows, you really have to balance those energy points and what you choose to do, rather that's wear and tear, rather that's training to improve your skills. Maybe you want to be a brand influencer, so you work on your NIL. Once you get past 3 or 4 points, it's getting close to the nitty gritty and you have to make decisions, and I think that's really good. So it says here, accepting an NIL deal comes with rewards, which can be provided up front, weekly, or at the conclusion of the deal, which it seems like you can choose this. So it can be gameplay bonuses, improvements to your in-game attributes such as enhanced catching ability, increased speed, or better stamina, or off-field bonuses, enhancements to one of your meters, such as increasing your number of followers, boosting your coach's trust, and improving your health. And if you did see deeper in the blog, they talked about playbooks, and when it comes to your coach's trust, look, if you want to unlock being able to call multiple plays or even changing the play, you got to get your coaching trust up, and it's so good that we have that back in college football 25. Now, I've been talking about NIL this whole time, but this is an add-on to key point number 4, and essentially it's an example NIL deal, which you can earn an NIL deal with a physical therapy center, and as a part of their deal, they want you to participate in a regional commercial shoot that will air during the next month. While you won't physically pose for the camera this year in Road to Glory, and that's a key point to talk about, the deal will cost you 2 energy up front. In return, they will give you free physical therapy sessions, which will give you an immediate wear and tear recovery and improve your health. By taking the deal and getting the health recovery, this will enable you to do other things throughout your weekly agenda time management. And so with that, that's along with taking classes as well, which we'll get into in the future. But outside of that though, being able to get an NIL deal that'll easily just recover your wear and tear, hopefully it's a massive boost, is enough to actually consider. Now, I'm extremely excited that this is back, and it's position battles. And this is key point number 5 here. And once you've accumulated enough coaches' trust, you'll trigger what we call a position battle. This is a golden opportunity to earn your spot on game day. Position battles are intense and task you with winning 2 out of 3 position-specific mini games. For example, if you're a QB, like in this scenario, you might find yourself playing the option attack. It's all about showcasing your skills under pressure. But here's the catch. If you lose the position battle, you'll need to climb back up the ladder over the next few weeks before you get another shot at challenging your teammate. On the flip side, winning the position battle gives you a sweet bump in coaching trust, boosting your position on the depth chart. Keep in mind though that your CPU teammates are also vying for coach trust throughout the season, and if you're not performing up to par, and they might just initiate a battle themselves, trying to take over your job. So that's another RPG element that I love there, that your CPU teammates just won't be stuck at number 2 or number 3. You guys are similar in overall and especially in skill, and they are capable. They can easily try to take your spot, say in week 4 or week 5 and things of that nature, especially if you're not performing well on the field. And I thought bringing back position battles will actually keep you immersed throughout the season versus just simulating game to game. Now, moving on to key point number 6, this is something that I did not like, unfortunately. And it says, unlike Dynasty players, your Road to Glory character will not earn any off-season progression. This places an increased importance on how much time you spend training and your performance on the field. As you accumulate XP, you will fill a progression bar, and once that is filled, you will earn a skill point, which can then be spent on upgrading your character's ratings and physical abilities. The system will allow you to tailor your progression to suit your playstyle and strategic needs. Now, the thing is, as somebody who played college football, I felt like my biggest jumps were in the off-season versus in-season. So for players not to be able to get any off-season progression, at least for 2 to 3 weeks, I think that would have been nice. If Road to Glory were to add spring ball and give you 3 weeks of progression in the off season, I think that would have been clutch. But outside of that though, it's unfortunate, but hopefully we get it in the next game. Now, moving on to key point number 7, this is about upgrading your player, and it says skill groups. Similar to Dynasty players, you will upgrade your attributes by spending skill points to upgrade an entire skill group. Skill group is a collection of related attributes. For instance, quarterback power skill group includes throw power and strength. Every skill group can reach a maximum level of 10 each time you upgrade a skill. Its level increases, thereby enhancing all the attributes within that group. However, your Road to Glory character may have skill group maximum level or cap that is less than 10 depending on the archetype that you choose during character creation. But as we get down this paragraph, it says skill group caps can represent your character's maximum potential in a specific area. These caps vary depending on the skill group, position, and archetype. Once a skill group reaches its cap though, it cannot be upgraded further unless your coach possesses the architect archetype along with the limitless or put a ring on it abilities, which I'm glad that they talked about this, because Dynasty Deep Dive talked about if you do equip this, your players can go above and beyond their limits that they already have set. But the limitless ability offers a chance to increase a random skill cap each time your character levels up, while the put a ring on it ability provides a chance to raise your highest skill cap after winning a conference or national championship, which could be if you're a power quarterback and throw power is at level 10, things of that nature. If you want to go to speed, then you can get that from maybe like level 6 to then level 7, it sounds like. Now moving on to key point number 8, man, it's mental and physical abilities, and it says unlike your dynasty players, your Road to Glory character has the unique opportunity to progress their mental abilities by completing in-game objectives. Each time you complete an objective, the corresponding ability will upgrade to the next tier, up to the maximum level of platinum, which is good because dynasty players, once they get their mental abilities, no matter how good you play with them, it's stuck. So now if you do get road dog or fan favorite and you complete those in-game abilities, it can continue to rise to the highest level. So with this though, it says to upgrade the field general ability to the silver tier, you need to throw for 20 touchdowns in a season, which is a lofty goal if you're playing on Heisman. But it says as you continue to meet those performance benchmarks, your mental abilities will progressively enhance and providing significant advantages on the field. So I think this is a major key point because the in-game opportunities that you get, you're really going to have to lock in, rather that's getting rushing yards or maybe throwing so many touchdowns or maybe so many short routes, things of that nature. I think that's going to be a good look to have too for certain players. Now, when it comes to key point number 9, this is in addition to talking about skill points and upgrades. It does say here, on the other hand, physical abilities can be upgraded with skill points if you meet the upgrade requirements. Every physical ability tier has a rating requirement associated with it. For example, to unlock the sleight of hand ability at the bronze tier, you need an 83 play action rating. This applies to every tier up to the maximum tier of platinum. So with that, one of your energy costs is that you can just focus on training. You don't necessarily have to worry about in-game objectives or NIL deals. You can simply just train, get skill points, and then apply it to all your abilities if you meet the threshold at a minimum of say 84 or 93 overall in a certain category, and just upgrade the tier yourself without needing something to happen in the game to trigger it. And finally, at key point number 10, we're talking about coach can pull you from the game if you take too much damage. So it says here, if your body takes too much damage, your coach may decide to pull you from the game to let you recover on the sideline. Additionally, if you start the game too damaged, you may not play at all. Therefore, managing your wear and tear effectively is crucial to ensure you remain on the field and perform at your best. And to me, this really puts a focus on getting your toughness rating up, 1, 2, earning those abilities for recovery as much as possible, or those NIL deals, and then taking some points each week to focus on wear and tear. I think that's gonna matter a lot. I think one of the honorable mention things that I want to talk about is the fact that you have to keep your GPA above a 2.0 to compete. And with the energy usage thing that we have, if you go to class, sometimes the classes will have random pop quizzes, and also you have to take a midterm during the season. And if you fail the midterm, it will severely impact your GPA. And so that's just another RPG element that I really like. I'm actually interested in how they're gonna do that and implement it, whether that's quizzes yourself or whatever the case may be. But with that though, just having the ability to know, like, if you don't get your GPA to above a 2.0, you're automatically ineligible, and you have to go to mandatory study hall, which I believe takes away your ability to choose what you do with your energy points on a day-to-day basis, because study hall typically goes from 7 to 10 at night or 7 to 9 at night. So you really have no choice to do anything else. And so I wonder how they're going to implement that. I thought that was something cool that we should just showcase as far as an honorable mention thing. Outside of that, guys, this deep dive was insane with all the detail in it. A lot of creators are going to be releasing content today at 4 p.m. Eastern if I don't get this video up before then. So make sure to tune in to guys like Good Game Bro, MMG, Not the Expert, Bordeaux, Eric Wayweather, things of that nature. It's that time. We are closing in on College Football 25, and I'm excited, dude. I cannot wait for this game to come out, and I just wanted to touch on the 10 things that I took away from this deep dive and how it's going to affect our experience. But let me know if you enjoyed this video, man. I'm excited once again. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one.